speak through Fox News and let the independents who are tuning into you, let them know what it is that she stands for, the principles behind her positions.
It used to be that new candidates were advised to brush up on the issues so they could handle questions from anyone, even tough questions. The idea behind that was that it prepared you also for actually governing. But now the advice to candidates is only to talk to sympathetic reporters.
We need to start now by electing strong leaders who aren't afraid to shake it up. We need strong, principled leaders, public servants who respect our Constitution.
We need clarity. We deserve answers, so we don't ask the same questions tomorrow.
Good night, Lon.
Former Governor Sarah Palin, she's first, and she joins us live from Wasilla, Alaska. Good evening, Governor.
Hi, Greta. How are you?
I'm very well. All right, Governor, let's go right to Delaware. Can Christine O'Donnell win the United States Senate seat, and is she going to win?
I think she absolutely can win. She needs to stay on message, talking about reining in the federal government and really connecting with her Delaware voters and ignoring what the lamestream media is trying to do to her with all the distractions. Funny, Greta, though, that we are learning more about Christine O'Donnell and her college years and her teenage years and her financial dealings than anybody ever even bothered to ask about Barack Hussein Obama as a candidate and now as our president. We're learning a lot about Christine. She just needs to stay on message, and she's doing great. She's going to win.
All right, she's getting a pretty aggressive reporting on her. So let me ask you the flip question. Her opponent, Chris Coons, is getting a lot of press, a lot of aggressive reporting on something he wrote apparently 25 years ago when he was in college about whether he's a bearded Marxist or not. Is that fair to go after him? With all the criticism of people saying it's not fair to go after her for her witchcraft, how in the world can it be fair to go after him about something he wrote 25 years ago?
I think it is fair to dig into somebody's past, if you will, and find out their associations and their beliefs and kind of what formed their beliefs. But even more important is Coons' position today on growing government and his desire to join with the extreme left, the Democrats in Congress, and start taking away more of our liberties via that growth of government that they have so embraced. That's more important even than him admitting that he was a bearded Marxist back then. Somebody needs to ask him if he still is such a thing. That would be interesting to hear.
I think he's denied it, and he's probably done it multiple times, and I think what he's saying is that he's running on his record. He's been a county executive, and people know him in the state of Delaware. I think it is using politically against him, much like, goes on in politics, sort of, a smear. He's getting a little taste of what others have gotten, what you've gotten, what a lot of candidates get. And I'm just trying to figure out, when are we going to sort of put behind us sort of the stuff where we sort of jab each other unfairly because the other guy did it?
Yep, absolutely right, Greta. What you're suggesting there is, hey, let's stick with what is relevant today. And what is relevant today is a candidate's intentions, where they are going to go with spending and growth in government and protecting our Constitution. That is what needs to be focused on. We only have 41 days until these midterm elections. That is what voters who are quite wise in their research, in their collecting of information, that's what they want and need to know is, what is the intention of these candidates?
Is the Republican Party imploding a bit from the Tea Party movement? Let me go right back. Now we go right to your state, Alaska. Senator Lisa Murkowski, who lost the primary to Joe Miller, she's now running as a write-in, and some say she's a sore loser. I don't know if she's a spoiler or not, but what about Lisa Murkowski?
Well, you have to remember that after Lisa Murkowski was handed her job by her father, Frank Murkowski, who had served many years in the Senate, Lisa recently, of course, ran as a Republican, and she was essentially fired by the GOP primary voters. They said, no, thank you, no more of the same. We want some new ideas. We want common sense conservatism to represent our state. So she was fired by the GOP primary voters. Then she tried to run as a libertarian. They said, libertarians don't like government necessarily. Lisa, you're not one of us. You can't run representing our party. So now she's running with the backing of many of the state's Democrats. So that seems to be kind of the mode of operation by a lot of liberals within the Republican Party, not real principled, not really grounded in where they stand on position, so doing whatever they can, saying whatever they can to get elected, and that's unfortunately where we see Lisa today.
Well, it's sort of interesting because you have Senator Lisa Murkowski in the state of Alaska. So, sort of sitting back and looking at the Republican Party, it doesn't look like there's much unity. It looks a little bit like there's some implosion as a result of the Tea Party. Wrong?
I've always appreciated that the Republican Party, the contested primaries, and even after some contested primaries, we're not afraid to duke it out. We're not just a bunch of sheep going along to get along with one anointed leader, but within the party there is healthy debate and really good competition. I do believe, though, that now is the time for unity. After the Republican voters have spoken in a primary, now it's time to move forward with the agenda that is best for the individual states and for our nation as a whole. That is, unfortunately, not what is happening right now with, for instance, Senator Lisa Murkowski trying to run as a libertarian, and then now trying this third strike that she has underway right now. That's far from trying to unite the agenda, the party, the message, the common sense solutions that have to be plugged in to get our country back on the right track.
Well, give me a little bit of the pulse of Alaska. Does she have any shot at it? Because I don't have a sense of Alaskan voters or what the numbers are. Does she have any shot at all at winning?
There are so many Alaskans, like the rest of America, saying no more of the same. We're not embracing status quo anymore. That's what the Tea Party movement is all about. Tea Party Americans, and there is no one Tea Party itself, but Tea Party Americans rising up and saying, no, we're going to elect those who will protect the Constitution, rein in the federal government, and allow the private sector to grow and thrive and prosper. There are enough Alaskans who embrace those ideals and principles to be able to vote for Joe Miller and send him to D.C. to represent the state of Alaska and help lead the United States Senate.
We begin this morning with beating the odds. After losing her state's Republican primary, Alaska's incumbent Senator Lisa Murkowski launched a seemingly desperate write-in campaign to keep her seat. Now, after weeks of wading through stacks of handwritten ballots, she's being called the apparent winner. NBC's Tracy Potts joins us from Washington with the latest. Tracy, good morning.
Lynn, good morning. And it was a hard-fought win. It's difficult to win these national elections as a write-in candidate, but it appears this morning that is exactly what Lisa Murkowski has done. For the first time since Strom Thurmond won as a Democrat in 1954. This is a big Tea Party loss. This was the race in Sarah Palin's Alaska. She poured a lot of money in support and urged the Tea Party Express to get involved with the opponent's campaign, Joe Miller. They won the primary, but it looks now like Lisa Murkowski may have won that general election. Here's part of what she said during her victory speech last night.
Alaskans knew exactly what they were doing, and they showed their intent with every letter that they put down on that ballot. We do the impossible immediately. Miracles take a little longer. Well, tonight, after 8 weeks, I think we can say our miracle is here. Our miracle is here. There's no turning back. There's no looking back. And what a wild 2 months that has been. But what held me, what kept my course, and Lily, it takes it back to your dad. Ted's motto was, to hell with politics, let's just do what's right for Alaska, and that's what we did. That's what we did.
That is unbelievable. That is unbelievable.
Welcome back to Morning Joe. Top of the hour. Mike Barnacle is still with us. Willie's in Washington, and joining the table,
she sounds disappointed.
Business columnist Andrew Ross Sorkin. You want to say it again?
No, just
oh, Lord.
So let's keep this music on. Andrew Ross Sorkin.
Oh, what are we talking
this
about?
Murkowski. This is not happening. No, write-in. Let's be positive. Somebody wins as a write-in candidate at the last minute.
But what about all the misspelling?
But
what about the misspelling?
This hasn't happened since Strom Thurmond. Was it Thurmond in
1954?
Since Strom Thurmond in 1954.
Yeah.
Your friend.
Exactly.
Listen, it's an amazing thing. But you don't think it's a repudiation?
Of course it's a repudiation.
Yes, it is.
So why are you not casting it in that light? That's what this is about. That's why this is news.
Well, I try to accentuate the positive.
But this is all about one person, Sarah Palin, right? That's what this is. That's what this story is. It's not.
It's about Lisa Murkowski.
Yes.
Fighting the odds.
You think I'm not giving her enough credit for?
I think you are overly negative, I think you need to look deep into your soul and try to find a ray of sunshine in this story. And I don't know what the other kids at the prep school have done. Maybe they've beaten you up. Maybe they've bullied you. Maybe they took your peanut butter and jelly sandwich and spit on. I don't know why you're so negative. But let's try this again.
What I'm trying to suggest to you is that the reason that this is a story, the reason this is a national story, is not because she won. Most people didn't know who she was. It's because of the larger context of the story, and that namely has to do with Sarah Palin.
How sad, Mike Barnacle, the young are so cynical.
Well,
this hasn't happened since 1954.
She went after the one person who boosted Joe Miller's campaign, former Governor Sarah Palin.
She would not be my choice for president. I just do not think that she has that those leadership qualities, that intellectual curiosity that allows for building good and great policies. I don't think that she enjoyed governing. I don't think she liked to get down into the policy.
Michael Carey is a columnist with the Anchorage Daily News. Shoshana Walsh is a senior reporter with the Daily Beast. She's also the co-author of a book, Sarah from Alaska. Shoshana, she essentially called her a dope.
She's extra sassy these days. She's winning. All her mama Grizzlies are winning. And they're busting through that glass ceiling. And the mama Grizzlies are going to Washington, and they're going to flip your picnic table, Dave. You know what I noticed on Fox News last night, though, is on Fox News they address her as Governor Palin, which is like calling me Dairy Queen employee. Like, I was once, but I quit.
That's right.
There is that point there that somehow Sarah Palin forgets. Oh, well.
I'll only bring it up because you guys brought it up. Is Sarah Palin important in this race? Obviously, Joe Miller is her candidate of choice.
I think it hurts him more than it helps him. I mean, you know, she does have really low numbers, and people that did support her and walked door to door in the snow. I mean, you think it's cold now? You wait a month. People walked door to door for her to get her elected, and she quit. And there's a lot of things you can do in Alaska, but you can't quit. You can't run dogs and quit. You can't row a boat and quit. You won't survive here if you're a quitter. It's an Alaskan value. So even people that are still conservative, still they see her as a quitter.
Perhaps we are not properly educating our youth in the exceptional nature of America. It's worrisome because this belief in American exceptionalism is something that every new generation has got to make its own if we expect our republic and our liberties to be secure and to live on. For America to survive, we have got to pass this on to that next generation, to the young kids who are here, to the students.
You know, this real America, does it exist, John?
Well, in terms of real American and exceptionalism, look, the most basic thing that people can do in support of a democracy is vote. And we take our votes very seriously. The people of Alaska voted for Sarah Palin, and Sarah Palin quit. Exceptional people don't quit. And I seriously tell my kids this probably 2 or 3 times a week. It's better to lose than to quit. So she can sit there and she can talk about being exceptional. She can talk about better of America. If she were a better person, she would have stood and fought. She chose to check out and to do it to make money. I've got no problem with making money, but that's what she is. She's a reality
I
star.
have a different observation, though. He hears what's going on. That speech, the first 20 minutes, was every vapid cliche strung together. It was complete, almost nonsense.
Suppose Senator John Doe puts forth a constitutional amendment that would outlaw abortion, even in cases of rape or incest, and he asked you to attend the announcement and support him in that. Would you do it?
I would. Yes, a proposal like that, I would stand by it. Let's be completely clear about the facts here. There is no place in the world and no time in history where restricting women's reproductive rights makes a people or a nation more free or more equal. These extreme positions on abortion are, without any question, a war on American girls and women, and the fact that there are women who are both complicit and participatory in it is really neither surprising nor unprecedented. It has always been true, and it is incredibly important that we recognize that despite the fact that we can be very proud of these women as women and as politicians that the question is, how do women as citizens fare on the other side of them either being elected or not elected?